Oh boy, I knew every time I do something here, to begin with, it doesn't get broadcast over Facebook to whoever wrote me,
Yeah.
and it doesn't go out over Gabnet until, well, actually, it goes out over a Gabnet. Why it should be going out? Oh, I see what the problem is. Yeah, it's there. There it is. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, we're okay. You know, we're fine.
So
Okay,
just
thank you for
the,
telling me, folks. And for those of you who are watching this later on our, you'll be able to see the replay over at the live, the what do you call it, the recorded feed later
uh-huh.
on. You'll be able to see this show partially on the live feed repeat. Okay, so it's because I started it late. Every God, every day I screw up somehow.
Well, at least
It's
it's just
getting to
with
me.
me,
Hmm?
with me, not an important guest.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
it's starting to get to me. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I started streaming. You know, I started streaming, and I thought I started streaming. I guess maybe I hit it, and I just didn't. Oh well. Anyway,
Now, you don't
but
have a checklist. You know, I've
I
been
don't have a checklist because I've got to do this all in pretty fast order, and I don't go bloom 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 bloom. I don't do that. But
then
anyway,
take your time.
huh?
Find a way to
No,
put
I
some
usually
things.
I get this all right, but tonight
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, so the people who are mad at that, screw you. Anyway, uh,
Well, nobody's watching it.
how tall is the Trump Tower?
The Trump Tower in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I would guess it's maybe 50 stories.
Well, actually, it's listed at 58 stories,
Huh.
one story higher than the GE building. At least that's
They're
what
almost
Trump
out of
said.
business. Yeah.
He removed 10 stories from the building. About the 30th, it goes from 30 to 40.
Oh, like not having a 13th floor?
But not like having 10 floors. So he claimed he had 58 floors when he only has 48 floors.
That's genius.
How is that genius? That
Well,
is.
you know, if you're going to
You want to
claim a
know? You
higher
want to know
building,
where it came to bite him in the ass?
go ahead.
Something on the fire department got a report that there was a fire on the 38th floor, and when they got there, they couldn't find it,
That's
and they had to
well,
be told,
that's
"Well,
not his private floors.
no. Those aren't his private floors. They don't. He does not list them as existing." In other
Well,
words,
that's what they say
you go to the. I'm saying this because I don't know what floors they are exactly, but you go to the 30th floor, and the next floor is the 40th floor.
Have you ever visited the Trump Tower?
No, and I have no intention of.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to get your picture in front of the big T.
Hmm?
Yeah, you get your picture in front of the big T at the front of the tower.
Why?
No, just I
I'm
don't know.
hoping he
No,
sells the goddamn place and they tear it down.
I heard that there was some homeless lady that he actually gave the an apartment to stay in, and she's been there for a couple of years. Uh,
Never heard of
and
that story.
no, yeah, I've heard
Well,
of
he's
that.
such a wonderful guy. You
Yeah,
know, he's a real decent
yeah.
human being. No,
Well,
but
it's a
this
good.
guy
I don't.
wrote.
Oh,
Oh yeah, it was called the Commander in Cheat, I think, is the name of the book, and it was written by a
well,
guy who was one of the writers for Sports Illustrated, and he used to go playing golf with him, and he just said this
yeah,
guy. He said he just cheats. He's a major cheat when it comes to playing golf. He will go to a club.
yeah.
You know, he says, I'm such a good golfer. I'm the top golfer at least five of my different, whatevers. I have a high score
Yeah.
at one of my uh, golf
Sounds like you at the 2 a.m.
my,
club on a
my
football
golf
team.
my golf clubs. Anyway,
Yeah.
he what he does is he goes the first day he opens it up, and he's the first one to play golf, and he plays with Melania, and he gets a really high score, and then they put that up there. It's the high score for the club.
Okay.
He
Well,
said
what
once,
happens the next day?
huh?
What happens the next day?
Whoever happens gets second. I mean, he just cheats like crazy. They say he's a terrible golfer. He has terrible scores, and but he cheats. He's like Goldfinger. Remember the movie Goldfinger?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, where Goldfinger cheated. It's that kind of cheating, you know. And what this guy said was, he played with Bill Clinton, and Bill Clinton cheated. They call him, well, he would take things they call billigans instead
Mulligan,
of mulligans.
a mulligan,
No,
okay.
they called him billigans. So
Oh, billions. Okay.
yeah, and he would cheat too. And somebody asked him, well, I mean, how much did he cheat? He said, not like Trump. Trump, Bill was like you go into a bank and you steal a pen.
Yeah.
Okay, Trump is like you go into a bank and you steal from the vault.
Well, you gotta do it bigly.
This whole book is not about not blasting him as a politician or anything else. It's just calling him out for the cheat that he is.
Wow. I'm surprised you can get that much.
Well,
put
go
in
on to
the
YouTube. Just put in
cheater,
a cheater or something.
cheater in chief or something.
Well, just you can just say Donald Trump cheater and see what comes up, and you will find it. And there's this guy. It's 15 minutes of just absolute bliss. I mean, of him telling these
if
stories.
it's on YouTube, it must be true. You know.
So did you see Serena tonight?
No, but I heard, wasn't this her last
No.
public?
Well, this is her
tennis
last.
match?
This is her last tournament,
Yeah.
but it's not her last because last night
she won.
she won.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
Yeah.
tonight she won again.
Wow. Now her sister, did her sister also retire and lost her last tournament?
No, actually, I don't know, but Serena and Venus are going to be
Yeah.
playing doubles tomorrow. I think it is. So,
Really?
yeah.
Well, they're great tennis players, and I guess it's time for them to move on and do something.
It's time. It's time. You know, I mean, she's going out as the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
There's nobody really that comes close. She really was amazing.
What was the one in Florida back in the early '70s?
Chrissy
uh,
Everett.
Chrissy Everett, yeah.
Yep, and Chrissy Everett was there tonight, MC, doing the play-by-play or whatever they call it, and she said she's the greatest of all time.
Wow.
You know, I mean, she really, I mean, I can't remember how many she has won.
Oh yeah, she's phenomenal. You know, back in the '70s, they had some really interesting tennis players. You had McEnroe, you had Chrissy Everett, Everett's husband. I forget what his name was.
Chrissy Everett, Chrissy Everett and McEnroe are two of the commentators on the coverage. Yeah.
And but they were so, especially McEnroe was so colorful, and he was interesting, and Bjorn Borg, and you had some really interesting tennis players back then. Now the tennis players we have today are very, very strong. They're fantastic athletes, but there's no controversy around them like you had. There was one guy. He played a woman tennis player back in the '70s, and I guess he was a top-seeded tennis player, and he lost the game. It was like man versus woman. Do you remember that one?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. It was Billie Jean King and what was his name? I'm forgetting his name now. But it was they had their big match and he of course lost.
Yeah.
But he had said that no woman can beat a guy at tennis,
and Billie Jean.
And he wasn't a bad player,
Right. He was older.
Yeah, but he was having a lot of fun with it too. I don't think he was really serious. I mean, I have to ask Marjorie. She'd know more about it than I do.
Yeah, I was down in Miami when they had all of that stuff going on, and I forget which club they played at, but it was interesting. I actually played tennis when I lived in Miami.
See that little owie right there?
Yeah. What'd you do?
What did I do? I went to the doctor today.
Oh, you gave blood in the wrist?
No, he stuck a needle in there from my arthritis and gave me another cortisone shot.
Oh.
And it hurts like hell. When they do that, it just hurts, and it's still hurting. But Hopefully, it'll make my hand feel
You know,
better.
to Phil's Medical Minute, there's a new therapy called prolotherapy where they inject a gel into the joint, and what that does is it lubricates and gives more space, and it also lasts longer than cortisone. You know, with the cortisone, I think there's some deterioration that takes place, but this prolotherapy is the newest
Well, I'm
way.
going to a sports medicine guy, deals with hands only, and he
Yeah.
said he might. He said if you want to, he said we can operate on it. It's going to take 6 weeks to heal.
Wow.
You know, and I said, so I don't know if I want to do that. I said I'll just keep coming to you and getting these hella painful shots.
Ask
But the
them
thing
if-
is, no, I'm sure if there was something like that, he would know about it. He would have offered.
I would
it.
ask. Maybe it's only for knees, but why don't you ask? It's called prolotherapy, and it's a new thing where they put a gel in, and it's not anywhere near as intrusive, and it lasts longer, and it doesn't take effect immediately. It takes a few weeks before you start feeling better. Whereas with cortisone, it takes effect almost immediately.
No, not immediately. About 2 days.
Yeah.
About 2
Well,
days.
it's a lot faster.
Immediately it hurt, and for a while it hurt. Then it didn't hurt for a while. Then it hurt again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, maybe the Novocaine or
Yeah, there's a
lidocaine.
Novocaine, a lidocaine or something they put in there.
Yeah.
Let me just add some people to the mix here, okay? Because they seem to
right.
be backing up a little bit, much like my bladder. Let me see
25
here.
watching.
Hmm. There we
25
go.
people watching.
What is that? All we got watching? Oh, by the way, hello everybody. There is our good friend Jeff and our good friend Scott Boddicker. He's on his phone from somewhere. Where are you calling from, Scott?
Iowa.
Iowa. And we got Kevin, and we've got Charlie, and we've got Alan. So let me tell you something. So
This to be
Okay.
the most effective method to improve your hearing from home. More than 201,500 people of all ages. Solution. Finally, carry on.
it's Jeff. It's
Taking
Jeff.
viral.
There he goes. He's hanging. But Jeff, you don't have to hang up. Just kill your browser.
Jeff.
It's like
Love him.
He like becomes a deer in the headlights, you know.
Or just mute it, until he
Here comes
figures out
Ray.
what's going on.
Anyway, let me
May
tell
not, he may not see the browser. It could be underneath what he's looking at, and he doesn't see it and doesn't realize how he's going to turn it off.
By the way, let me do something here. But I'll tell you about something. So, I do this show every night, and I don't know. I can't begin to tell you how few people we have. Maybe over a period of a week, people will watch a good deal of this, but we don't get huge numbers. So a couple of weeks ago, Marjorie and I went over to the park, and I said, let me just do a little thing of us in the park talking to each other, okay? So we did this thing talking to each other, and after a while I go back and I look to see how many people have looked at it, and it was something like 750 people. All right? So the other day, I think it was Friday, we go back up to the park and we sit there, and we're not getting a great signal, so it's cutting in and out, and we're talking about nothing. And then we just say goodbye to everybody. So far, that video is, let me see what the current number is here. Let me get it. Here's the current number is 995.
What are you
Almost
doing?
1,000 viewers to that
Is that
video.
a Facebook
Yeah.
view or
Yeah.
YouTube?
It's Facebook view.
So maybe Facebook gets you more views than YouTube, but it doesn't monetize.
It's being broadcast in every old people's home around the
Yeah.
country.
Well, all I
And to
know
watch.
is that that I did one a couple of days before that, just me, and I had maybe 95 people. Okay, go
So it's
figure this.
Marjorie is
Go
the
figure.
draw.
It must be Marjorie.
Yeah.
Must be Marjorie. 995. We will hit 1,000. So I mean that's amazing to me. And then I go, why do I do this? What am I doing this for? You know, what am I wasting my time for?
Are you sure that it's not the Twitter system of counting the views?
The Twitter system? I'm not even talking. We're not on Twitter.
I know you said it was Facebook, but maybe they're using Twitter's way of counting the views. Most of them are.
No, because
real.
a view on this, by the time we're through and I post this program, I'll maybe get on Facebook about 75 people watching on Facebook. We'll get more than that on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't figure it out. So, Marjorie and I are going to do this thing. We're going to make sure it's only like 5 minutes and every week and see what kind of numbers we build up to. But 995. Folks, go over to the Facebook page, look for the picture of me and Marjorie leaning up against my shoulder, click on that video. We only need 5 more to take us to 1,000. Okay.
Well, she was leaning against your shoulder. Do you know that could be considered old people porn? And maybe that's why you're getting all of those views.
Old people porn. Okay, if you say so.
Yeah. They got adult, they got MILF, now they got old.
Let me just
people.
show the audience the page. Okay, there it is. And if you don't believe me, let me double click on this. Look at that. See right there, folks? It says 995 views. So, anyway, so go over there.
Okay, we'll get you a couple views here.
Huh?
We'll try to get you over the top.
Yeah, let's just get it to 1,000. That's all I care about, So
let's see.
let me see here. Let me go back to the panel here for you. Okay.
Friends.
Yes.
You talked about Trump Tower and Trump's golf game, and Phil's like, He didn't argue with you about it. I mean,
It's a conversation, not an argument.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to add to it a little bit here.
Why, did you cheat at golf with Donald Trump?
No, we were talking about over the weekend. You and I, we were talking about the heavily redacted document that you put out, and you told me that you had the unredacted document.
I
And
showed
I asked you for a copy, and you said you'd send me.
Still waiting, huh?
This was his idea of comedy.
Yeah, I got the files. I got friends in high places. Not even Melania knows this secret. Here, this one is bigly super secret. So.
By the way, you know what Trump's argument was when somebody said you cheat?
What?
He said, "Listen, I cheat on my taxes. I cheat on my wife. If I want to, I can cheat on my golf game at my golf club."
Yep.
He admits it. He admits he's a crook.
Oh yeah.
Do I need to press follow or something to get you another view?
No, you just click on it, and so the video shows. You just run the video.
All
for a
live
couple seconds.
notifications. Okay,
Yeah.
the video is showing. I got the video right here.
Okay, let me see. Let me
it said
see.
995 when I went on it, and
Let me see what it says now. It still says 995.
95, yeah.
No, still 995.
Maybe it doesn't like me.
Maybe it doesn't like you.
It does.
Oh well, stop running and we'll see if maybe that'll,
Okay.
make it.
I've done it 3 times, so
Well, none of it has changed yet.
It may not register right away.
That could be too.
All right, so 995. It still says 995. Maybe that's as high as Zuckerberg can count.
It could be.
Fine.
Yeah.
But anyway.
You got Donald Trump's book on mathematics.
Yeah. But I love the story about the fact that his building is listed at 58 floors when it's only 48 floors.
Well, I was close to I guessed at 50.
Yeah.
Only 1,000.
But
I guess 68, so I had the 8 right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me see. What if I put in how tall is Trump Tower? How tall?
Well, how many floors?
No, how many floors?
5,000 feet.
Many floors. Trump Tower.
New York.
How many floors Trump Tower? There we go. Let me see here. Trump Tower is a 58 floor. That's what it says. Trump Tower is a 58 floor, 664 foot tall. Yeah, but they're missing 10 floors in there.
Is that accurate? I'm surprised.
I'm
He doesn't care
surprised.
about the rules.
What?
Yeah.
Trump doesn't care about the rules. He
Right.
can skip 10 floors.
Well, why would he want to pay 10 floors more in taxes on
Yeah.
the
I don't know that he pays 10 floors more in tax.
He probably doesn't pay any taxes at all on the
Yeah.
building.
Maybe he was paid to build 68 floors, but he built 48 and pocketed the other.
Phil, I
Contract
I'm just
ran
getting
out of
fired.
money.
don't want to
Somebody's
be.
getting fired for this.
I don't want to be nasty here, Phil.
Get the tape measure
But-
out. You're
but-
missing 10
Go
floors.
ahead.
But how can you even vote for a guy that does this kind of cheating?
Well, it's New York.
No. Come on, Phil. Honestly, I mean, come on. This man.
I don't think he's going to run again, and I don't think I'm going to vote for him unless he is the party nominee. If he's the party
How
nominee-
else could you not vote for him?
Well, in the primary, if there was a choice between DeSantis
Primary.
and Trump, I would vote DeSantis.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, because DeSantis is the more decent of the two.
No.
No.
low bar.
But it's
Low
a,
bar,
It's
yeah.
it's a low bar to meet. You know.
I don't think so. DeSantis is the real deal.
I think there aren't real deals. I'll tell you, there are better Republicans out there for you guys, and Republicans who have a certain amount of ethics, and respect the job. And by the way, no way DeSantis is going to win this thing.
And
if he
Mitt,
does
Mitt
become-
Romney ran. You love him, but he got trounced.
Hmm.
because he wasn't willing to play the game the way it needed to be played.
He actually gave up a month early, before the election. He just stopped.
Well, you know what happens? I got to tell you, I think it was because the Republican Party wasn't behind him, and I'll tell you why. I think that when you have somebody in office like Obama, who is a fairly popular president, and he is the incumbent, and the incumbent usually always wins, they throw in a fall guy to run. But they don't give him the kind of support he needs in order to truly win, because they don't believe they can win, so they're not going to put that money and power behind him. And I think that's what happened to Mitt Romney.
I wonder if the government or the people in power are so corrupt. When Ross Perot was running, Bush actually, Perot said that Bush threatened him, his daughter, and he didn't want to spoil his daughter's wedding, and that's why he pulled out.
I think who knows? I don't think that was the reason. Okay, I think there was a deeper reason.
How many recent presidents have we had that were the incumbent that didn't win? Two. Both
There was Bush, George H.W. Bush.
Two, yeah. Two.
And Trump.
And Trump, both Republicans. One term
What
was
does that
enough.
mean? It just means the Democrats have more dirty tricks.
you had one Democrat who
Carter.
was an incumbent.
Carter.
Oh, Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
He
was worthless.
I was talking to a friend today, and I said,
I can't believe you have these many friends.
well,
Yeah.
it was Tony.
Ah,
He
And-
sounds
and I
like somebody else on Jack's other show. Everybody's a friend that he mentions.
Yeah. So
what did you say? Yeah, I forgot.
no,
Go
but the
ahead.
thing is, I didn't like Jimmy Carter as a president. As a person, he was a wonderful man, but as president, I thought he was the weakest president we've ever had.
He wasn't. I agree with you. He wasn't a tough president. No.
But
I agree.
I believe that Biden is worse than Jimmy Carter when it comes to
Actually,
health.
Biden has gotten better in the last couple of months. I mean, because a lot of the things he's been working on have come to fruition. Gas prices are down.
from being doubled. You know,
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
but they're down. And no matter
well,
what,
a little.
no, not a little. In some states,
A lot.
How
Yeah,
about?
it's down
Wait a
a
minute, wait a
dollar
minute.
a
You say,
gallon in the
Scott,
Bay
you say
Area.
a
What
lot?
do you call a little?
Wait a minute.
I think it's a lot. I paid a $3.30 today. Oh, yesterday, $3.30 a gallon. It's not bad. I can live with it.
$5.95 for regular.
Well,
And I saw a mistake. I actually sent it to a few people, including Alex.
I think you
It
might have
was
sent it to.
It was a chevron.
Yeah, I
uh,
saw that too.
It was a chevron sign, and they had the highest price. Let's see if I can make it bigger.
I think I saw that. Yeah. You know, usually there are three prices on a. What's that?
Bill is stuck in the loop.
Oh, yeah. It's Bill.
Phil?
Finally, everybody else can talk now.
Yeah,
I
really.
don't even. What
Hey,
does it
Trump,
happen
Trump,
here?
going back to Trump real quick. Trump also had the same thing with Wynn. You know, the Wynn hotels. They had the hotels pretty close to each other, and they kept. I think Trump wanted to go one story higher than Wynn.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Wynn's like the designer of like a lot of those Vegas hotels, and then he opened up his own one.
Let me see
Well,
here.
Steve Wynn is a big contributor to the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Phil,
I think we need to
Bill,
drop the bill.
up him,
Wait a minute.
up him.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. a
Finally
second.
makes
So can't you mute him?
Just drop them, please.
I can't even find him here now. Wait a minute. There we go.
He's all black. This picture is all black.
Oh, much nicer.
I don't know
Like
why,
his
I
soul.
got a still picture of him. The poor
He'll
Jets
figure it out in about
flying
20
there.
minutes.
I think
He's still talking. He's still talking right now.
Is
Probably.
he really?
Yeah.
Oh, there,
Yeah.
there we lost him finally.
Oh, thank God.
Good.
more people are watching now too.
Oh boy.
The
Yeah.
best cost for a car today was in Connecticut, $3.47.
Wow.
Oh, you mean for
$3
gas? You
more
mean for
for
gas?
For
That-
gas.
The car,
Gas.
the car
Gas.
isn't
Yes,
$3.47.
yes.
You know,
Sorry.
that's not far from California. I gassed at a 76 and I paid $3.89.
That's not bad.
In California, I thought y'all were
$3.89?
down.
Well, $4.89. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, boy.
What's a dollar?
He was gonna. Well, when you're driving a McLaren, that's a big deal. But his car probably gets better mileage than my van, though.
Yeah, McLaren gets really good gas mileage.
Does it?
Almost.
You have to put
25
the
gallons.
premium, right? You have to put premium in McLaren, right?
Yeah, my CT6 I have to also.
Yeah.
Well, the McLaren gets even better gas mileage if you leave it in the garage.
It looks like Phil probably had to reboot his machine or something.
yeah.
Reboot his
He probably
brain.
still thinks it's your problem.
Probably.
You know, we've never had that happen. We've never had that. You know, I've had all kinds
Yeah.
of things happen.
and with anybody, the only the conservative.
I have more problems, believe it or not, with Skype than I've ever had with Zoom. I mean,
Remember, Phil always used to come on and complain that something was wrong with their system, and then it was always his.
yeah, but Zoom basically is problem free. You know. Yes.
Yeah.
One quick question, thinking back to something Phil said. Phil's medical moment. Let your board certified sports doctor decide what to inject in your knee and not what Phil was
My
talking
hand.
about.
My hand. See, there's my
Or
hand.
your hand. Yeah, I mean, the guy's sports, he's board certified. I go to a board certified sports medicine guy for my hand and my knees, and I've never heard of the stuff that Phil's talking about. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but, cortisone works great. Takes a couple days and
Yeah,
starts working.
but the more you use it, the less effective it is. That's the problem.
Well,
And
yeah, okay.
But I don't want to get my hand all ripped open.
Oh,
He said
if
we can
they-
clear it up.
About every 4 months. If they do it about every 4 months, the tendons
Well,
won't
I needed
deteriorate.
it after 2 months. It was really bad. But
Oh,
it
really?
depends. And
Get a
then
hand brace.
because Marjorie loves getting needles stuck in me and think of me as a voodoo doll. we went up to the local pharmacy and got our yearly flu shot.
Oh, it's that time.
Hold
yeah.
on a second. Hold on a second. Hello, Phil. 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 You there?
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I actually had to reboot the computer with the on-off switch. I thought that Brian Neary sabotaged the thing. Was there like a heterodyne or
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. We have a precious child moment.
She sabotaged.
Oh, precious!
You never
Like
said that about Phil before.
More than that, a precious child with Kitty.
Yeah. She's like the Godfather opening. She sabotaged Bill.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Adrian, what's the name of the kitty?
Herman.
What?
Herman?
Herman.
Herman.
Armin.
Armin.
Oh, okay.
Where did that come from? What is the significance of that?
My favorite DJ.
That was Alex.
That's Armin van Buren. Armin van Buren is my favorite DJ, so I get to name the cat since I bought it. So
Where's
I thought he was your favorite president.
Who is Armin van Buren?
Martin.
Yeah,
he's a music producer. Nothing you'd know about.
Oh, really?
I promise.
My other cat I had was all black, and his name was Hammer, but that was in the '90s. So
MC Hammer. Can't touch this. Yeah.
I promise I will never eat on your show again watching Ray eat.
Oh,
Ray
yeah.
is good at eating.
Ray always eats on our show. Oh, there he goes now. Thanks. You scared him away.
Is that better?
You embarrassed him.
He
Did
gave,
we have a
he
politics
gave me
thing
shit one
Van
time
Buren?
about eating on the show, so.
Yeah.
What Jeff said something?
Did we have a Van Buren?
Yeah, Martin
Yes.
Van
Martin
Buren.
Van Buren.
Guy
yeah.
won the quiz show, remember?
Yeah, Martin Van Buren. He was.
Oh, that's who it is.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Hmm.
I haven't seen him for a while.
He hasn't been making any appearances.
No, not too often.
See here, this is what I was trying to show you before when Zoom cut me off. A regular 953, but plus was 759 and super was 587.
There's something
So I think
wrong with that.
something was wrong. But as I drove past the place, I was at a stoplight. I took a picture of it and I said, oh, "This is interesting." And, 953 for regular.
You know what I never got about gas stations, and I imagine you've all run into this. What are usually the highest priced gas stations in a town?
Shell.
No,
Chevron.
Union 76.
No. Forget about the brand.
Yeah.
It's usually always a gas station that is on a main drag,
right up the freeway.
like
Usually out in the boondocks.
The ones near
Lombard
car
Street.
rental. The ones that are closest to car
That could
rental
be done.
returns.
But Lombard Street always had gas stations at the highest prices in the state. Were at at the Chevron station on Lombard.
Which Chevron? There was a Shell, I thought, on Fillmore and Lombard.
The Shell was always cheaper because you see, I mean, I had a car and I was in that area all the time, so sometimes I pull in there for gas. But usually I go to the Shell because it was always cheaper than the Chevron. And I'm going, how does the Chevron station? They were right next to each other, right? How does this Chevron station, who's like 50 cents more a gallon, making money over the Shell station next door? Is it just people can't read signs?
They might be loyal
People
credit
get
card.
loyal to the brand.
Yeah, or credit card.
What were you? What were you saying, Kevin?
So people are loyal to the brand, and some of them are loyal to the station. My dad's gas station was in San Mateo. It was a Chevron station, and I know a lady. I tell this story all the time. That was so loyal to my dad as a mechanic at a Chevron station that she had her car towed when she ran out of gas in San Francisco. She had her car towed to my dad's gas station in San Mateo because Len was the only one that touched her car.
Wow.
She had it filled up at her gas station and then drove back to San Francisco to finish her business.
It's hard to find an honest mechanic. That's
And
a
that's
good
what he
thing.
was.
No, I find that most of them are honest. In today's world,
Who do
especially
you
with
find
Yelp.
Trump
No,
being?
Yeah, but,
no,
you,
no,
but
no.
wait a minute,
you
wait a
have
minute. This
Yelp
this
now.
from the man who finds Trump honest.
Yes.
Yeah, well, you have
That's
Yelp.
not even close, Phil.
With Yelp, you can get a bad
But
reputation.
listen
very
to
quickly.
Kevin. Listen to Kevin. What do you say?
I was in the business my dad was in the business for 41 years.
Yeah.
He owned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gas stations, I believe, over the years as he moved south from San Francisco down into San Mateo. But he had a reputation like that. We used to service Hillsboro, and we had the McCoveys and Mays, Tom Haller as customers from the Giants. But we used to actually keep customers' keys in our gas station, and they wouldn't even know. We knew when it was time for them to change the oil. We'd go up to their house in Hillsboro, open their garage door, pick up their car, take it down, change the oil, and then take the car back to them, call them up, say, we changed your oil, pay us when you need it. When you get down
Wow.
here, when you got time.
Yeah.
Then they would come and
Imagine
pick.
walking down to your garage, you don't see the car.
That's what would happen sometimes. Did you take our car, Len? Yeah, we're doing the oil on it.
Did
need
you
brakes.
guys wash windows, check the air pressure and the
Yes,
oil?
sir. Every single one.
Those were the days, where you
yes,
pull
they
into
were.
a gas station and there was one guy out there cleaning your windows. There was another guy checking your oil, and there was another guy filling the tank up.
And they were wearing a
was
bow
on
tie.
TV.
No, they were wearing a plastic bow tie.
I grew
Yeah,
up on that.
come on.
I grew up on that and refilled the Coke machine. I cleaned the bathrooms. I did all that crap when I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
And you remember that you did self-serve when you wanted to get the cheapest price on gas.
Right.
Yeah, when that started coming in, we never had self-serve.
Oh, really?
Always
Yeah.
full serve.
You can't do that in the state of Oregon. They don't have self-serve either.
Yeah, Oregon's still
New Jersey,
Oregon still has
full serve.
full serve.
well. It's like what you call mini serve. They don't do the windows and all that crap. They just pump the gas.
Okay. All right. Why is that? What is their theory behind that? I mean, not
Fire
that
regulation.
fire regulation.
Yeah,
Yes.
because that's what it was in San Mateo County for a while. It was they only they only had us pump the gas, so they called it mini serve, and then they called it you got a certain price for full serve, you got a certain price for mini serve, and then they did away with all that stuff. Because I remember people used to come in and say, "I want a full tank of mini serve or full tank of full serve," and then you did the windows and all that stuff. So you had to go through that for a while. But after that, after the regulations changed, then it was just
Yeah.
come in and do your own. And I remember sitting there going, what do I do? When the bell rang.
I used to get soft serve at Carvel's. Anybody remember Carvel's from back east?
Oh, I still have
Yeah.
it.
I used to get soft serve from a hooker.
Oh! And they
still
invented
around.
Viagra.
And remember the days when the gas touched $1 a gallon
Yeah.
and the pumps couldn't handle it, so
Mechanical pumps.
they moved the pumps down to 50 cents and you had to charge double. That just pissed people off.
I moved out to San Francisco during the gas crisis, and when gas hit 75 cents a gallon, I said, I'm not paying 75 cents a gallon.
Oh yeah.
And,
My dad, I got a picture of my dad in the paper where there's a girl on her knees going like this with a Volkswagen. "Please, give me some gas," and we were shut down because
Well, I've told the story.
you're an odd day.
I've told the story on this program before that when I was a kid, they used to have what they called price wars. And
Yeah.
a gas station on a corner would lower their price, and the one on the next other corner would lower its price, and another one on another
remember
corner
that.
would lower its price, and it was a round robin. And the lowest I ever paid for gas, I think, was 8 cents a gallon.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I remember there was this gas station in Sunnyvale that was one of these independents, and I still remember seeing the sign 27 cents a gallon.
I
Well,
saw
normally
25 cents,
what
yeah.
gas was in
Yeah.
those days, and it was pretty steady from year to year. It was steady at 29 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
You know,
There you go, fill your mini bikes or your lawnmowers and stuff like that. Right.
And we used to get the blue chip stamps and the green chips and
Oh,
go
yeah, I
to the
remember
What
store.
about steak knives?
They were great because we
Shell,
had rolls
Shell
of them.
had steak knives.
Shell also
Yeah,
came out with a
Shell
little
did.
plastic
Use the shell
coin.
card.
Matchbox
Little
card.
plastic coins with the 50 states. If you got all 50 states from the local Shell.
My mom needed a blender. She had us because my dad had the rolls.
You know what they have
In
here?
a blender, she'd pull out the rolls and have us start filling up books. Because my
Here
dad had
at,
them.
at Christmas time, they sell Hess gas trucks, little toy Hess gas trucks. And I don't think Hess has been in business for the last 30 years, but they've been selling toys.
Yeah,
it's a slow sell, I
somebody
guess.
had their
tell you,
hand
those
up.
little old ladies when you didn't go out there and dial the stamps off when you did the gas, they got pissed off. Where are my stamps?
Oh, my mother was the queen of S and G stamps. She would go to the store. She would go to the store, the S&H store, so you could look at the different things you could get with the
His next door neighbor is S&G Carpet. That's where he's getting that.
S&G, S&H, yeah.
The funniest candid camera I remember was this old lady pulls up in a Volkswagen at a filling station. Anyway, it was all black and white, and they changed the gas tank in there. So they re-engineered it. So they made like all the interior or something like that. They had like, I don't know, 50-gallon tank or something. I don't know how big it was.
Oh, by the way, go ahead.
The guy walks up and starts filling her tank, and it just keeps going and going and going, and they're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. She goes, "How am I paying for all these gallons? This is only a Volkswagen." You know, old ladies, really funny.
By the way, congratulations and thanks to all of you. We have hit 1,000 views.
All right.
But now it says 1,000K, and that won't change until it becomes 1.1K, which I need another 100, folks.
Get out there, Phil.
You're never satisfied.
Never satisfied. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? What do I so we're going to do another one later this week, you know, and we're just going to say nothing, you know. We're just going to sit there on a bench, you know.
Why don't you ask everybody when you're on that bench and in that video to come watch the show?
They must be watching the show, otherwise they wouldn't be able to have them say, "Come watch the show."
No. Come watch the Ramble.
Why should I ask them to do
people?
that?
Then nobody
Free plug.
So that'd get me another 2 people watching the Ramble?
Yeah, well, just
For some reason, there's some magic combination of Marjorie and I together. I don't know what it is, but at least some people love it. But we just hit 1,000. Isn't that amazing?
What if you tried Marjorie by herself, standing there?
You know something?
Way up.
It could be 2,000.
Yeah.
If we did that, and in that time there were 2,000 people, there'd be no living with her. I worked all my life to hone my career, my business, and being able to get people to listen to me, and all it took was for my wife to sit there and just say hi, you know.
Well, women seem to be doing this to you all your life. Your mother gets.
My mother got a show. Yeah, she.
Yeah, your mother was great. I love that. Those were my favorite moments.
Yeah, Ruth's top 10 countdown.
Yep. Well, she was better than me. That's for damn sure.
I don't think so. You had.
She was very funny.
You had what, a 6 share at Camel? Nobody had a 6 share except the phony KGO.
My mother had a 6 share.
The book, people would put KGO in the book, and they really weren't listening to it. You know, you get the Nielsen book, and
well, what would happen is they had a book. They had a book. It was called a Nielsen, not a Nielsen. It was Arbitron dial.
Arbitron.
Yeah, I did those a couple times.
Nielsen bought Arbitron, right? Or it was the other way around?
No.
Remember, they gave me $1 bill. They gave me $1 bill, and I filled it out for a week. I said,
Yeah,
I'm doing this for $1.
My question is, did you fill it out for a week?
I did actually.
Did you actually sit there every quarter hour and write in what you were listening to?
No, I knew what I remember what I listened to all day, and I put it down.
There you
KGO.
go. There you go, KGO.
I had a people meter.
But actually, yeah.
Well, we don't care about that. That's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah, well, a people meter is what they went from the book.
No, I know, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the days when you had a diary to fill out. And what people would do is they get the diary, and for the first day they go, "Oh, I'm listening to Alex. I'm listening to KGO." And then after about a day, they went, "Oh, I forgot to fill it out today." And then by the end of the week, they started feeling guilty, so they started filling in what they thought they listened to. And
yeah, but I got this when you were off the air. This was like right after you were off the air, or even quite a while after. Yeah.
And you were still writing in Alex Bennett?
No, because he wasn't there.
You know, with the people meter, when you listen to a podcast, they have to have some sort of signal that sends out. You didn't have that signal for GabNet. That would allow the people meter to pick up.
I remember once at Arbitron delisted me because I held a discussion on the air on why the rating services were so bad.
Wow.
And they said, we're delisting you because you talked about our rating service.
What station was that on?
Wow.
This was here, I think, in New York, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good thing Sirius didn't use ratings.
Sirius doesn't have ratings to this day.
Right.
You know, the only thing they can judge by is to see how many people might be listening to something via the internet. They can tell how many people are listening via the internet, but they can't by their satellite signal. Impossible. Impossible.
So how do they decide what's successful and what isn't? How do they sell advertising?
They have no idea. You know, and the whole time I was there, I had no idea how many people were listening to me. I could have more people listening to me right now than were listening to me at Sirius XM. We never knew. You know.
Do you think that? Is that? Sorry. Oh, that due to allocation, we cannot serve any more gasoline today. Was that your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made the newspaper.
Wow.
Wow.
During the allocation.
Looks like snow on the ground.
Nah.
Not
That was in the 70s.
Well, I remember back in the 70s, you had the big, the big gas problem.
Yeah, that's when that was.
And they didn't know what to do about it, so all of a sudden they said, well, we'll just go odd even license plates. And as soon as they did
That's what it was. That's what this was.
Yeah, and as soon as they did that,
75,
believe it or not, it was over.
I never sat in a gas line.
Well, it was over because Jimmy Carter said, well, just wear a sweater.
Remember?
You know the cool thing about the odd even thing?
Yeah.
On commercial vehicles, every day you could get gas.
Yeah.
I usually had a van that had a commercial plate on it. So the odd even didn't affect me.
Yeah, pickup trucks, stuff like that.
Yep, stuff like that. Yep.
Wow.
But there were lines, and there were fights.
No, 73, 74, something like that.
You could only pump so much per day, and then you had to shut it down, and people were fighting.
Oh, yeah.
I would just go and make sure that I went at odd times, and I went just buy gas at weird times, late, early, and I hardly ever waited.
Well, sometimes if you waited too long, they ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened, yeah.
And it cleared up as fast as it started. If you
Yeah,
remember.
it lasted a little while, but
Yeah, but
it was really bad for about 6 months, I think.
Who was
like
the president that was in power in the early
Jimmy
days?
Carter.
No, Carter.
No, it was before Carter.
Before Carter.
73.
It was Ford and Nixon were in charge.
Nixon.
Ford
Nixon.
You sure
It was Nixon.
It was
Jimmy Carter said wear a
73 was when
sweater.
the big crisis
73,
was,
Bill.
and that was Richard Nixon.
Right.
It was Nixon and then Ford.
Nixon.
Ford was
Ford.
in 74, 5, and
Republican.
6 after
Yeah.
Nixon.
let's talk about
Throwing us on the gas.
76 was Reagan.
let me talk about something
No.
else
Reagan was
here.
80.
I can't
80?
tell you.
Carter was 74.
Carter was 76.
Okay, all right. Are we through with that?
74.
Have we exhausted that?
Almost.
Yeah.
No.
71 and a half.
I was very depressed the other morning because I got up at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know why?
Wow.
Got up at 5.
Yes, and I know Kevin was writing me
Yeah, I know.
about it.
The
He got
Artemis?
up at 5. Yeah. What are you laughing about?
It's funny.
Why is it
Why is
funny?
it funny?
I knew it was gonna happen for some reason. I got up at 5 and I said, "Oh, I'll bet it doesn't go."
You know, I'll tell you, I got a problem with NASA, though. I think that NASA is really a bad player in all of this.
How is
Because
that?
you know the rockets, the jets, the fuel, the rockets they'd say they have on this thing. Do you know how old they are? They're like 30, 40 years old.
From the Challenger.
They use them for
the Apollo
the
program.
Apollo program, and then later on, it's the same rockets. Meanwhile, down in Texas or wherever, SpaceX is creating this brand new engine
Technology.
and technology. So I mean, what are we doing? We're sending this thing up with these bulky rockets, all right, and that's going to get us to the moon. I'll bet Musk gets us there first.
Plus the fact
And the
that
Chinese may beat us.
Oh, they'll have a takeout place up there. Don't worry.
Jinx.
It's smart. You're right. They will get there.
You know, I think Sputnik is selling spare parts too. You know, yeah.
probably got them on eBay.
You know, can I ask you a question, Alex? That's I was looking forward to that. I'm starting to wonder now. I know we got there in say '69 to the moon, but I'm starting to wonder how come we never got back there again to do it.
Because we did, because
never
we
got
were
there.
because we were idiots and we were morons. You know,
I mean, I'd like to see us get back there again. Or
we
do
turned
something.
we turned into NASA's shipping and hauling, and that was about it.
That's
And
'cause
then we
had
gave
a
up.
Republican
Then we,
president that didn't
What
want
you
didn't
There
wanna
are
go to
some
the-
people that say that we never went to the moon, that it was a
Yeah.
soundstage.
Yeah, they said
you
that.
do realize we
Trump.
went to the moon several times. You do realize that, right?
we went six
We had
times.
several moon
six
landings.
times.
That's
Six times.
correct.
Capricorn
people-
1.
Okay.
Was that a movie, Capricorn 1?
Yeah, but the thing is, we then went to the shuttle program, and then we gave up on
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Those same
NASA kept giving up on the dream, and the dream was, when we went to the moon. Well, next we're going to go out and start exploring space. We're going to put a base on the moon and so on. Now, granted, we could probably do a better job and an easier job of accomplishing that today with the technology we have. For
What
instance,
was the-
what I was looking
was the
forward
one
to,
that they sent
what
to-
I was looking forward to.
Yeah, and the reason it didn't go was a pretty minor reason it didn't go. They
Something
had
wasn't
never
moving.
filled the whole tank up. And when you thermally fill those tanks, they have to be pre-cooled. And I used to work with cryogenics every day. And when you work with cryogenics,
Yeah.
there's expansion, thermal expansion, and contraction. And what they said, if you listen to the press conference afterwards, they had a fitting that was basically leaking. And when they were introducing that liquid hydrogen to that fitting, it was leaking. And what happens is it shrinks. But if they do it too fast, it won't expand. So when they introduce it too fast, it shrinks too fast and it doesn't expand and warm up and seal.
What leaked on the Challenger, Kevin, that caused
Pretty much
it?
the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it was a good reason
O-rings.
for not taking off.
But you
They were
think
all
they'd
right.
learn from that, and the reason that that happened is because they had never fully filled those tanks.
Well, also,
They only
if
did partial fills, and this was actually the first time they had fully filled those hydrogen tanks.
here's the thing, Kevin. The problem is they haven't changed much in their rocketry since 50 years
No, and
ago.
that's the thing is, it's old. It's an old way of doing it.
Musk is building a whole new, different rockets that operate in a different way. They've got those. What do they call the engines?
That's old school stuff. I used to fill liquid helium tanks, and we always had to pre-cool our doers. They were always on a recovery line that always kept them cold, because when you put
Well, these aren't helium.
cold liquid,
Alex, could you see Jeff had his hand up?
when you introduce
Yeah.
a cold liquid to something, it flashes off right away.
Jeff,
And it takes a long time to get it down to minus 436. And that's what happens with these things. So they have to pre-cool it to get it to hold that
right.
cold. And hydrogen is the coldest liquid and the smallest molecule, and that smallest molecule will escape. The reason they do use helium is because it's not flammable, and that's how they leak test things. they use helium to leak test.
Jeff had
But
his hand up.
apparently they didn't leak test it.
Jeff,
I don't know.
Jeff had his hand up. Yes, Jeff?
Yeah, I think you guys have to remember that all of those guys who did all the work on the rockets and on all the equipment, all the stuff to go to the moon, they retired. How
Right.
long ago is it?
Yeah.
30 years ago, something like that.
Well, you know, Musk is using a bunch of young Turks to.
No,
Well, you have to.
Yeah, you didn't.
And what they've done is they've
Charlie probably knows all about this too. Same thing, you know.
well, they've reimagined the whole thing.
BJ lines and everything else.
Yeah, yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
I just
Ray?
have a question about that. So you're talking about this was the one in '85 that blew up as it was taking off, right?
Captain Christian
No,
McCullough.
9, I
Yeah.
thought maybe was
It was
it?
No, it was 85.
January
86,
28,
86.
1986.
86.
86,
My
yeah.
son was born then.
Christian McCullough.
Challenger, right?
Okay, yeah, 86, and then okay, so that's the one with the defective O-ring or whatever,
It was the
right?
first launch where it was below freezing.
Well,
And that's
Okay.
why it didn't work.
And then what was the okay? So then there was the other one where they were coming in for the landing.
Re-entry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then
Over
what
Texas.
happened there?
With,
happened with that
something
one?
fell off of on the launch and broke the heat.
The tiles.
Tile blew up, yeah.
Yeah, the
But it was
foam on the
space that was
outside.
unprotected from the heat, and heat got in and blew it up.
That was re-entry.
Yeah, the foam on the
Yeah.
outside on takeoff came off of the tanks and hit the leading edge of, of the thermal tiles. And when it came in, it needed those thermal tiles to prevent the wing from overheating. And that's what happened. The tiles were missing.
Yeah, I remember that.
A hole there and it
Yeah.
caused friction.
Yeah, and then it's too much. It's too hot. Couldn't sustain the heat.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
But it knocked
but-
the wrong tiles off.
But
So-
you know, the thing I was looking forward to, and I am looking forward to, is that because technology has changed, we have, you know, high def cameras this size, right? And they, I'm sure, have that capsule filled with cameras all
Yeah.
around. And I think there's probably going to be a 24/7 feed coming from the capsule of shots of the moon. And that's what I'm looking forward to.
Friend
And I'm looking forward to they're going 40,000 miles out on the other side of the moon so that they can turn around and look back and see the moon with the
And
Earth
the Earth.
behind it.
Yeah.
That's going to be spectacular.
Yeah.
Are they going to have female and male astronauts?
Eventually, yeah. Well, what
Nobody.
they've already said is they're going to have a woman and a black person.
Yeah.
So
And
if they have a
I'm going-
24/7
I'm
camera,
going, well, wait, how
So
did
is
you come
Harris going to the moon?
Who?
it'll be like
Uh,
Big Brother.
the vice president, Kamala Harris. Is she going to the moon?
Why?
Kamala.
A woman and a black
Of
person.
course, he says
Kamala.
Kamala.
That's racist.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that's racist.
He said it was a
How
woman.
come
and
you
a
just
black-
can't say her name right even?
You can't even say-
Kamala,
Why do Republicans, why just can't they fucking say her name right? Excuse
Well,
the language.
Because
never
they're
get
mean.
it.
Do you ever notice
Because
something?
Republicans are mean
What
people.
name? What kind of name is that?
No, do you?
Yeah, but why can't you just say it right?
Well, you know
It's-
what
it's
the.
a wrestler's
Hold on a
name.
second. Can I
I call
talk?
you File.
Can I
File
talk?
Meyer.
All right.
Can I
It's my
talk?
Hebrew name.
Can I talk? Can I? Am I allowed to talk?
No.
Can I? No. Now I forgot what I was going to say.
Kamala.
We're on the woman and the man and the
No,
woman.
here's
that
what I
go
was
to
going
the
to
moon.
say. Democrats, I mean not Democrats, Republicans, when they want to be dismissive of the Democratic Party, refer to it as the Democrat Party.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. I hate
Not
that.
the Democratic.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what
the
I
I'm
said.
going to start calling it the
Democratic Party.
Republic Party.
Republicans
Republic.
are mean people.
You know,
What'd
Phil,
you
it's
say?
so-
Wait a minute. What'd you say, Charlie?
The Republicans are mean people. They're just mean. There's no reason to
You know,
say
if-
Democrat Party instead of Democratic.
If you scratch a Democrat, you'll get a fascist right under the skin.
Oh wait a minute.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
right.
I think
And
I,
Republicans-
Biden
I
said
think.
it.
Wait a minute. I think you scratched the wrong people. I think the Republicans are the closest we have in this society. The Me Too, not Me Tooers, the MAGA people
Mm-hmm.
are the
Ultra-mag.
closest thing in this country that we have to fascists.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
I'm ultra MAGA, you know. Or,
Well, then you're a fascist.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Mm-hmm. I'm a Republican, but not a fascist. You know.
You like free money?
Well, not really. I mean, the money was free.
Oh no,
Really? Really it is?
He needed
Can
that money.
Can I explain what
No.
PPP is? Because most of you people don't really realize what it is.
Free money for people that don't pay it back. That's what
No,
it
that's
is.
not what
it's
That's
socialism.
what it is,
It's
you
so-
socialist motherfucker.
It's a social.
Drunk again.
Not sure.
It's social.
Socialist motherfucker. That's
Now,
what
the
he is.
deal-
It's
the deal is-
socialism. It's socialism for
Socialism.
for the rich.
Think about this:
For
70%.
motherfuckers.
In order to get it forgiven, 70. You had to pay it back if you didn't do this. 70% of the money had to go to salaries. 30% of the money could go
Free
to
money.
and utilities. It wasn't free money. The government
Free.
shut down business.
Did they shut you down?
Yeah.
You said on the show you were one of the few companies that could not be shut down. You
well,
said
that's
that.
because I did emergency services.
Emergency services. You
But
weren't
my
shut
salespeople,
down.
no, wait a minute. My salespeople who worked in the showroom didn't work. They left. I had to shutter the showroom. It was locked. I could answer my phone.
Hey, COVID was going on. Who's coming to a goddamn showroom?
Right. Well, but the bottom line is my salespeople continued to get paid. My warehouse
money.
continued to get paid. It wasn't free. It was, they
Did you
weren't
pay it back?
Yeah, I
you
didn't
pay it
have
back?
to pay it back because
So
I
it's free.
It's free
It was
money.
free if you didn't pay it back.
Boddicker, I used it for the
It
purposes.
was free.
I used it for the purposes
Free.
that it was for,
Free.
and therefore it
Free.
was given.
Socialist.
But
Bill.
it's free. It's free because otherwise you would have had to pay those people, which would have
Yeah.
cost you money.
It
I
was
did pay the
given.
people.
So it was free.
They
It was
didn't
given
work.
to you.
No,
It was
they
given.
weren't. They weren't. It was given to
Socialist.
They weren't
Phil.
working.
Phil, you're trying.
Not Spadanya, comrade.
Hey, they weren't working. No, you don't understand.
No. I understand. Did I get any fucking money for free? No.
No, I didn't either.
Did
How
I?
many here got free
If
money?
you were sober, you would have found the money.
Oh, I didn't need the free money because I have money. I'm not a socialist pig like you.
Oink, oink.
Socialist. You're a socialist, Phil. Admit it. You're done.
Okay, yeah, I'm a socialist. Veil your papers.
Oh, there you admits it.
I have
You
many
admit
more
it.
questions than you have fingers.
Is that the way socialists talk?
No, it's the way Nazis talk.
Oh, I see. Well, then that would be a
On
Republican.
Radio
that would
Dinner,
be a
your
Republican.
album.
Be a
Yeah,
Republican.
It was your album, Radio Dinner.
Yeah.
Can I ask Scott a
It was a
question?
quote from Radio
Yes,
Dinner.
Tony has a question. The young child here has a question.
But I understand Scott's point. Scott, do you hold a job during the pandemic?
He hasn't
Didn't
held
need
it
a job.
for
I'm
years.
retired.
Okay, so let me ask
Retired.
you, can I ask you this
Retired.
question?
I was
Can I-
retired. Yes.
Can I ask you this question, Scott? Let's say you were working for somebody like Phil or a small shop. How would you have felt if you were laid off and couldn't go to work for 6 months? Would you have been able
Tony, I saved my money. I'd have survived.
to, for 6
There's a lot of people that
What
couldn't.
about people who
Oh,
might have worked
6
in
months?
the same company as yours and had to make rent and pay bills and they needed that check?
They say that most people couldn't afford a $400 emergency in this country. That's people who live in paycheck to paycheck, and most people would be hard pressed if their car.
So
broke.
they should get socialist money from the government. You like socialism, don't you, Phil?
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
Well, you don't seem to be against it when it benefits you.
All those people
Oh,
were
yeah.
in
It
that.
didn't benefit me. I didn't get the money. The
Well,
money
those
went to
people
my
were-
employees.
Phil, did you
Phil
keep
Jr.
as a employer, as a person working at your company? Did you take any part of that money for you to use?
No, because I paid myself while I was working.
But what did you pay yourself out of if you say there wasn't any business?
I was doing business over the phone, and I got a couple of pretty big jobs.
How are you laying carpet over the phone?
Let me ask you this: do you pay yourself as a member of the company
Right.
a weekly salary?
Yeah.
Okay, and were you continuing to pay yourself a weekly salary?
Yeah.
Where was that money coming from?
Sales.
Suppose there weren't any sales that week.
Then I couldn't have written the check. You know, you didn't get the PPP money for months. So I had to keep generating money. That it took months to be able to fill out all the forms and get the bank to run it through. There was so many delays in getting that money. It came after I paid the people.
Oh, that free money stuff again.
Bill Jr., did you sell any comics during the pandemic?
Yes, I did.
Did you make sure that money was clean and it wasn't from PPP?
PPP? I don't get any PPP.
No, but I mean, you know, Phil's guy who works the sales could have got that money and he could have bought comics from you. Dirty money, socialist money.
Socialist money.
Socialist money. You guys, you sit there and you are socialists and you call others socialists?
Well, no, we are socialists. Wait a minute, hold on a second.
I'm not a socialist.
We are.
I didn't get any free money. Do you get free money?
Well,
Ray,
hold on a second. I am a socialist, basically, and so I know a socialist when I see one. Phil, you're a socialist.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, Scott Boddicker, thank you so much. You came alive tonight, man. You were killer.
I've been waiting for Phil.
Why don't you turn your camera on?
I think he's in the dark now.
I'm in the dark. They shut the lights off at the library.
Oh, socialism. Socialism again.
Free internet for everybody. Socialism for everybody.
Kevin, thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
Scott, you don't even have internet.
Thank you, Charlie. Can I say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Alan, thank you. Thank you, Ray. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Phil. And all those jets of yours. Anyway.
Hey, I give up my AR-15 for one of those.
Yeah, okay. I'm taking you at your word. By the way, just everybody wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye at you, okay? There they go, folks. That's our people. Okay, there they go. Oh, boy, that was a good closing on the show. I'll tell you, that Scott Boddicker can come through when he wants to. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'm Alex Bennett. We'll see you again tomorrow night. What time? Of course, 10:30 Eastern time. But you know, as always, tomorrow night we'll be here. And if you see her, I don't even know how to sign off anymore. If you see her, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice night. Okay.